Hey, what's up everybody, Retro Gaming Guy here. Today in this video we're going to dive into the Kodlix GD70 Mini PC. Now Kodlix is actually a sub-brand of MinisForum, so I'm really excited to see what this has to offer us here. So we're going to unbox this, take a look at the layout and design, and then of course do a full performance test to see where the gaming experience and performance lies on this. Now before we do all of that, let's take a look at some of the key features that this particular mini PC is hyping up for us. So we have 16GB DDR4 RAM on here. We've got speeds of up to 4.7 gigahertz thanks to the Intel i7-12650H processor, which is 10 cores, 16 threads. We also have efficient heat dissipation on here, so we should be able to keep everything nice and cool as we dive into some of the more demanding game collections and emulators. So let's dive into this and see what the layout and design has to offer us. All right, so here's all the contents from our package. Now, right here we have our power supply cable. We have a full HDMI cable right here, so that's regular to regular. There's no micros or minis. This is the second part to our power supply cable. We have a mounting bracket back here, which does look like it would be very easy to set up. Always like those because it gives you the ability to go in and mount those to the backside of a monitor or the inside of an arcade one-up cabinet if you chose this as your modding option for something like that. You could also, of course, install it on the side of a desk, stuff like that very easily. So we have some little warnings here about the cooling fan within, it looks like. Now we also have a user manual here, and actually I forgot to mention this. This is actually a SATA connection that we can, I'll go ahead and open this up. We should be able to install this internally, so if you want to expand your internal storage, you would certainly be able to connect this over. So it's got a little protector over here, but you can see right here we have our SATA connection, so you could bring in a SSD, for example, very easily with this. And I'll demo how we can open this up and do all of that as well. But let's take a look at our user manual. I always like to thumb through this just to see how thorough they are, walks through the contents of the package, breaks down each of the ports and different functions of the outside of our mini PC, which we're going to get to momentarily. Let's see what else we have here. It's in a bunch of different languages, so each step gives you about 5 different languages, which is always good depending on, of course, where you're located. Walks through basic usage here and how to set everything up. So very thorough, definitely like what this offers, and it's specific to this exact mini PC. Oftentimes we get just a very generic sort of user manual packet in a lot of mini PCs, and sometimes you'll notice that they just don't really go with what you have specifically have picked up. That's not the case here, so very good to see. Now let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at the mini PC itself here. First impression before even getting this out is that it is a pretty good size. It is plastic. This isn't a metal mini PC. Relatively lightweight, but definitely does have a taller profile to it. Let's take a look at the options here in the front. So we have a little reset button there, power button, good action on there. Nothing sticky about this. I always mention the power button because a lot of times I do find minor issues with the performance of the buttons. Either they stick or sometimes they slide off track. Very good action on there. No binds or anything like that. We have our audio connection right here, so you can connect a microphone, headset, external speakers, whatever you want to do there. 2 USB 3 ports over here. Ventilation on actually both sides here, so it definitely seems like we're going to get some good airflow. Down here on the bottom, very good ventilation as well, and I can see the board inside is raised up considerably, so that also helps with getting good airflow in there. Let's see, we'll flip this over to the top. Nothing on the top, very sleek design. Now backside we have a bunch of options back here. So we have our power supply connection right there, followed by an HDMI port. We have a Type-C over here, Ethernet, and then a display port, and 2 regular USB ports over here on the left-hand side. So lots of different options to go ahead and make external connections. Love the fact that we have easy access to those USB 3s right in front. So if you wanted to, as a gamer, plug in your receivers for your controllers, keep everything wireless, that would be a great option to do so there. I myself, being into retro gaming, do like to switch out my controllers I like to use specific ones for each of the collections that I dive into the most, like N64, for example. I like to use true N64 controllers and having easy access to swap out my connections when I go between, an N64 game over to maybe a Dreamcast game where I don't want to use the same controller. This makes it very convenient to, seamlessly switch between different connections. Now, if we flip this over, you can see two holes over here where we can actually use the mount that's provided to mount this to, like I said before, either the inside of an arcade cabinet, the outside of our monitor, the backside of our monitor, or the outside of a desk, inside of a desk, wherever we want to mount this, we can go ahead and secure that bracket to this. Now, if we flip this over completely, we can actually dive into this and see what we have going on internally. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these 4 foot pads back here, and we're going to open this mini PC right up. All right, so you can see exactly how everything opened right up for us. So now what I love about this once we open this up is we have easy access to everything that we would want access to internally. We can go ahead and swap out our RAM if we wanted to. We can make adjustments there. We can also make adjustments over here to our M2 SSD. And right here we have a 512 gigabyte M2 SSD ready to go. We also have another slot right next to that we can utilize, or we can go ahead and bring in a 2.5 inch SSD as well. And you'll notice up here on the top, we have a spot where we can actually mount that. We would bring in this connection, which gives us a SATA connection here. So right here, I have a Samsung SSD. And the way that this would work is we can easily mount this right in here to the top, and it stores it for us. There's a screw hole on every corner, so we can secure it in place, and we would be able to just simply make our SATA connection. In fact, it would actually go over here on this side, just like that. We'd make our SATA connection right there, and then just go ahead and plug this into the inside here right on the board. So definitely expansion options here, multiple expansion options if we wanted to, but really easy to open this up. You can see it slides right back into place just like this. Just line up the panel right there by the ports, clicks right back into place. Now, let's see how these actually go back on, because notice I had to remove those. I just want to make sure that they're still sticky enough to reapply without any issues. And they are. They actually stick right back on there. So I wouldn't leave these off for any extended period of time, where you risk kind of drying them out and losing the stick on there, but they do go right back in place. In fact, you can see I'm actually struggling to remove it again. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and secure these 4 screws back into place, and we're going to fire this up and see what we can dive into for gaming.
First down. First and 30. Feed back. Corner to Bruce. And Bruce makes the nice grab. He's going all the way. Got it, baby. Touchdown. Love. Yeah. 30 love. Yes. glove. Game point. Game server.
On the calibration matrix. At least I think it's a calibration matrix. Okay, follow the light. Look up. Now let's look down.
All right, guys, so we put this mini PC through the ringer today. We tested out a wide range of games and game collections. Now, before I talk about the performance, though, I want to talk about the layout and design of this mini PC. First and foremost, it's not the smallest scale mini PC out there. It's got a good size to it. Now, the weight of this is still what I would consider to be lightweight, but it's not super lightweight in that it seems breakable or it's a cheap plastic. That's not the case. And I know, obviously looking at this through a video here, through your, the screen on your computer or your phone, it's hard to see exactly what the quality is like on here, but take my word for it, it's high quality plastic. It is all plastic, it's not metallic, but it is high quality. It's not that stuff that if you look at it funny, it's going to crack or ding up. That's not the case. It is very well put together. Now we have exceptional cooling on here, and the airflow is wonderful on here as well. So even jumping into the most demanding collections and games that this is capable of running, you're going to still keep a very cool temperature internally on here. So that's always a good thing. You don't want this overheating, and that's not going to happen with this mini PC. It's very well thought out in how they designed this and what they have going on internally. So we also have great port options, and I love what is available to us easily right here on the front panel. We have two USB 3 ports, we have our headphone jack, and of course our power button. Flip this over to the back side, nothing on both sides, it's just simply ventilation. But the back side, we have three different display options here. We have our Type-C, which we can bring over to a monitor. We have our HDMI, obviously. We can bring that over to a monitor or TV. And then we also have a DisplayPort option here. So you can use all three of these at the same time to bring this over to 3 different displays simultaneously, or you can use them one by one and just bring this up to, 1 or 2 monitors if you wanted to. So it gives you the ability to bring this over to a triple display, setup if you wanted to do that, which I love the option there. I don't think that I would ever use 3 monitors personally. 2 for sure with video editing. I do enjoy doing that, but 3 I personally wouldn't use, but it's still great to have that option. We also have an additional 2 USB ports on the back. Those are USB-As. And then of course we can use the Type-C connection either for displays or we can use it for different devices. So really great options here. If I was being super picky, I would say give us a Type-C port on the front. That's really the only criticism I would have for this. And that's even a reach in all honesty. We don't need that, but it would be nice to have. Also, very easy to mount this. You can mount this to the inside of an Arcade 1-Up cabinet if you choose to use this to mod your Arcade 1-Up cabinet and to, just drastically improve the performance. You could do that. You can mount this to the backside of a monitor. You can mount this to the inside or outside of a desk. Tons of abilities there. And opening this up and accessing everything internally, as you saw here in the video, is very easy to do as well. We can go in here and customize and extend our storage capabilities if we want to. We can adjust a wide range of things internally as well. Again, very easy to do that. And I love that because that's not always the case with mini PCs. Sometimes it could be a really tedious process to open these up and make adjustments within. So let's talk about the performance here. And I want to first address the shortcomings here because there's very few of them. So let's knock them out and get them out of the way. PS3 emulation on here, not great in my opinion. Some titles will work, the majority will not, or they won't work as well as you'd like them to. I will say this because I always say this, PS3 emulation is still, getting better and better every day. It's not perfect, it's far from perfect. So not every title, even on the most powerful PC out there, is going to run 100% with the RPCS3 emulator. So take that into consideration. If you have a title in mind that you're dying to get into, check their website. They have a great page on there that walks you through all the available titles, and they'll walk you through what works, what doesn't work, and how well it works, because obviously there's varying degrees there. So I wouldn't recommend this mini PC if you're looking to get into PS3 emulation specifically. If you're looking to get into everything else, and if you get lucky and one of your favorite titles for PS3 works well on here, it's a home run, then that's great. But if you specifically want to dive into PS3, on a regular basis without any issues whatsoever, then this is definitely not the right choice for you. Now, everything prior to that for retro video game emulation, great experience here. And I didn't expect that to necessarily be the case, but it turned out to be the case 100%. We jumped into GameCube, we jumped into Wii U, Nintendo Switch, we jumped into PS2, we jumped into tons of retro video game collections. Everything ran extremely well, original Xbox as well. Great experience there. There will be some shortcomings with certain titles for Xbox Original though. Very similar to the PS3 emulator. It's still getting better and better every day. It hasn't been around for a really long period of time. So not every original Xbox title is going to emulate well. And that's not a knock on this particular mini PC. It's just the way that the emulator is, very similar again to PS3's. But great experience here. You saw exactly what the demos looked like. Now, we tried to do some AAA titles on here through Windows 11, and that was, hit or miss a little bit here. So we jumped into some titles like Forza Horizon 4. Great experience. Perfect, I would say. No screen tearing, no lags or delays, just really smooth performance on that game. We also tried to jump into the latest Halo title. Completely different experience there, just an absolute horrendous mess in all honesty. So it was unfortunate to see, but we can see how some AAA titles are going to work great, some are not. It's going to be a little bit hit or miss there. You're really pushing this to its max with PS3 and AAA titles. So it gets a little dicey there. So I would not get this if you're looking for modern day AAA titles to work effortlessly. I wouldn't get this if you're looking for PS3, but everything else, great experience here. And it's a very good experience in that the games perform well without having to make settings adjustments or anything like that. We don't have to go into like our PS2 emulator and you know, change the frame rate or anything like that, which we do have to do with some of the more low-end mini PCs. So in that regard, this is a great option. So at the end of the day, you have to kind of weigh out the pros and cons, see if this aligns with what you're looking for, and see if you can get this at, you know, a great price point. Because at the time of this video, this is going for $519 for the specs associated with this. I don't think that it's ridiculous, but it is a little bit high in my opinion. Now, there is also though, and I'm going to just pull this up on screen so I don't misquote anything. And I stress the fact that this is all based on what is available at the time of this video, because prices do fluctuate a lot. I don't like to necessarily nail down price points in my videos just because it can age a video terribly. If, you know, I say that it's $519, for example, today, and tomorrow it drops 150 bucks, or it goes up 100 bucks, then this video is, you know, not aging well. It's not going to be accurate in that way. So I definitely stress the fact that at the time of this video, $519 is the price point here. However, there is a $100 coupon available for this on Amazon. All you have to do is just check that little coupon option. And when you add it to your cart, it's now going to be priced at, and I'm just going to go over here to my cart and just verify this because I don't want to, again, misquote anything. $519 is retail, but with that $100 off coupon activated, your actual total on this would end up being, let's see, you clip that coupon, it would end up being $419 plus tax. So saves you 100 bucks right off the bat. I can't say that that, you know, coupon code is going to be available all of the time, but at the time of this video, it is available. So $419, definitely a more fair price point than $519 here. $519, in my opinion, is a little bit high. $419 definitely makes sense for me based on the fact that you can get into a wide range of games and game collections quite well on here. It's put together very nicely. Not all mini PCs are created equal, even if the specs may indicate that they are aligned in some ways. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's in fact true. So take this all into consideration, weigh out the pros and cons. If you guys have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. I'll try to get back to people as best I can. I'm going to provide you guys with a link up here at the top of your screen, as well as in the description of this video, so you can click over to Amazon and get some additional information on this mini PC, see what it's currently selling for, and all that good stuff. But let me know in the comments section what you guys think of this mini PC. Do you think it's worth the money? Do you like the performance associated with it? Let me know. That's going to do it for today, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate your input as well. So if you enjoy the content today, please give me a thumbs up on the video. It's a huge help to me here on YouTube as I try to further grow the channel. And of course, hit subscribe to stay in the loop for all future videos right here on the Retro Gaming Guy YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.